Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to the Wheel of Pain. I normally would say that because, we are back with the Wheel of Pain, but this is actually the second time that we've been back for the Wheel of Pain, because the creator I'm hanging out with today for this video forgot to record the first games that we did, so we're having to do this again.
So today if you guys want to see more footage, check Joe's channel and not mine.
Indeed. Today we have RareTCG, a creator that I've really wanted to face during the Creators Cook-Off, but sadly, due to the pairings, we did not. Welcome aboard, Rare.
It's great to be back.
Yeah, the reason why I'm saying great to be back is because this video will be uploaded before the other one, because somebody forgot to hit record, but anyway. So, of course, the way this wheel works, of course, if, because obviously the first matches will be done after this one. Essentially, the way the wheel, or our wheel works is we obviously have to spin the wheel. We have to get a attacker, which is obviously going to be an EX. There are no megas on this wheel. And the whole point is we're not allowed to use a backup attacker that hits the other person's Pokemon for weakness. And most importantly, 2 copies of the card. And if you have to use something like a fan rotom to attack for a turn, you're more than welcome to. There is no rule against that. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Obviously, last time, Red made me go first, and, well, I won't reveal what card it is yet. Same with his card that he got. But, sadly, it didn't end well for him, so maybe he might go first instead. So, do you want to go first? Oh.
1 second.
He's just sorting out his audio.
I go first.
You would like to go first?
Yes. Let's see what I get.
Alright, let's spin the wheel. There's a bit of background noise. I think it sounds like a fan or something. But you get...
my Bluetooth keeps going off.
Yveltal
EX. Ooh.
Alright, obviously I will be reading out the cards, because, well, one of us has to, as per the normality. This is a relatively new card, and I've not seen too many people, work with it. So, of course, this card is from Perfect Order, which is a quite nice set, to be honest. It's a basic 210 HP Dark-type Pokemon that's weak to Lightning, so I'm not allowed a Lightning backup attacker, and it has 2 attacks with a 1 retreat cost. We have Soul Destroyer for 2 Dark and a Colorless. Knock out each of your opponent's Pokemon that has 50 HP or less remaining. And then, for the exact same cost, we have Dark Strike for 210, and during your next turn, this Pokemon can't use Dark Strike. So in other words, you probably have to lean into some sort of spread strategy, in a way. Right. But that's not too bad. But obviously, I'm not allowed a Lightning backup attacker. If I happen to get a Lightning attacker from the wheel, which I think there's actually 4 on the wheel, obviously that, I have to use the EX, so that's different. But I'm not allowed to use a single prizer to uptrade into Yveltal, because that's not fair. So, let's see what I get. I won't mind a Lightning type. I won't mind a Lightning type, I'll tell you that much. Ooh! Ice QEX. I forgot this was on the wheel. One moment, because it's been a while since I've looked at this card. Let's see.
I know For the Wind said it was one of the worst cards.
Hold on a minute. That is a G-Block card that Joe forgot to take off. I'll have to spin again.
So we got to respin.
I forgot to take it off the wheel, clearly. And we get Team Rocket's Persian, I think. No, Stunfisk. Stunfisk EX. That I know is a terrible card. So this is from Ascended Heroes. It is a basic fighting type with 210 HP. And it has 2 attacks. 1 energy cost, which is a fighting energy, for Big Bite, which is 30 damage, and during your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon cannot retreat. And then the second attack, obviously you resist fighting, so I have to account for that. 1 fighting and 2 colorless for Flopping Trap for 100+. If this Pokemon has any damage counters on it, this attack does 100 more damage. So in other words, I would need to pop 2 Power Pros to actually knock out your Yveltal, which that might be a bit tricky. Because obviously you do resist fighting, if I remember rightly. Let me double check the Yveltal. It does resist fighting.
I do indeed.
So that's going to be a bit tricky for me to work with. And, well, at least we did get a card that, well, maybe if Joe actually checked the wheel and removed all the G-Block cards, but it's all good. I don't know how to feel about that, because, You know, the attack's not very good. The attacks are very questionable, and whilst I can trap you, I don't know. That feels a bit off. I think I have an idea, though, which would actually involve another stun fist, believe it or not. Without further ado, we're going to go off, make our decks, and we'll see you shortly. And welcome to our first game. We totally didn't just have to restart because someone put the wrong deck on. But it's fine. My hand wasn't, like, amazing, to be fair, so I'm not too mad about it, but...
Well, you know, anyway. I knew that. That's why, you know, I gave up, so...
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm not confident with this Stunfist build that I've got here, but I'm hoping, you know, I can at least do something. And maybe I might be able to do something about it, but we'll soon find out. And that is a mulligan.
Here.
That's a mulligan.
Not a mulligan, but close to one for me.
Just the one reveal. You know what? I'll actually take that start.
Oh, that's not the top deck I wanted, but okay.
Oh, we have a Badoo in the active. Okay.
We do, Badoo.
Spikemuth? Huh? Are you playing Grimmsnarl Scramble Switch?
Something like that. Not Scramble Switch, though.
I was gonna say. Right, well, at least I can take out your Badoo turn 1 at the very least, so that's something. So I'm going to bench a Monkey, I'm going to bench a Binnacle, I'm going to play a Pokegear, and I will definitely take that Lilies. I'll then go Air Balloon to the active, Fight again into the active, and a Lily. That's not too bad. I will bench a Gligar, and Big Bite, knock out your Badoo.
Ugh. That sucks. He wasn't even able to showcase himself, little Badoo.
Well, I hate Badoo, so you deserve it. I absolutely hate Badoo. I can't wait till it rotates.
Fair enough. We all got our
so far I'm not seeing any evidence of a Yveltal EX in there.
It's coming, don't you worry.
Well, I should worry because you're playing Grimmsnarl.
She's coming. When you least expect her.
I mean, I have an answer, per se. I can do stuff, but... So far, well, there it is.
There you go.
Yeah, I do not feel confident. Shadow Bullet for 180, hit the Stunfisk. And you're gonna hit the Gligar. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I find my pieces, which that is not my pieces, is there a world I actually knock out this Grimmsnarl? It's a very small world, but I could actually do it. But I probably won't get it. So, methinks I attach to Gligar. I mention another Gligar. I will then...
I something really good right now.
Crispin. So I can get a Dark onto my Monkey. I can then Adrenaline Brain, plonk out the active because it doesn't matter too much. And then I'll just go with Gligar and do 40 plus poison.
Right, I need a huge hand right now. I need something really important.
Well, to quote what I said about Grimmsnarl the other day, you're playing Grimmsnarl, you always have access to a candy or a boss, so don't worry about it. I'm hoping you have neither. Okay, I'll take the Judge. I'll definitely take that Judge.
That's not the one I was looking for, but okay.
Okay. Not happy with this hand, I will say. But now that Stunfisk is very close to death. Which I definitely don't like.
I just needed an energy and I didn't get it. I had something very, very sneaky in my hand and I couldn't use it because I didn't have the energy.
I bet you did. Yeah, methinks I'm not winning this one, Chief. So we'll Adrenaline Brain. We'll just plonk it on the active.
You put Risky Ruins knowing I play a dark deck.
Well, I didn't know he was going to play freaking Grimmsnarl.
There's a reason for him.
I can Pokepad, grab a Barbaracle. Let me think. 30, you take 10 from poison, assuming you don't Monkey Dory. Yeah, I'm just going to have to hit with Big Bite. Which stops you from retreating at the very least.
Which is annoying.
But no, my hand is dead. There's nothing I can do here. I was not expecting Grimmsnarl. That's Pokepad. Oh, not that one. Not that, you Meltol. But obviously you can't retreat, which is beneficial for me. But if I don't get anything off this top deck, I am basically boned. But if I get an energy, I can actually knock out your Grimmsnarl.
I just need one more piece of the puzzle, and I am good.
I need just a fighting energy, and I can knock out your... Well, that is a piece. That is a piece. Oh. That was the lilies off the top.
That's a max belt I was not prepared for.
Yeah, unfortunately, I whiffed on the fighting energy. So I will scoop and we'll go to game 2.
Okay.
Not really much I could do there, because I didn't find a fighting energy, which sucks. Yeah, not much to really say. I was not prepared for a Grimmsnarl, but, well, if I'd have known that, then I would have gone a completely different approach with my Stunfisk, but hey-ho, this happens. Let's go to game 2. Back to game 2. Joe was not prepared for the Marnie's Grimmsnarl, but it's not that big of a deal. I wasn't expecting to win this anyway with Stunfisk, I'll be brutally honest. And the fact that you're playing Grimmsnarl, I mean, yeah, I have monkeys, but you have monkeys as well, so it makes things very tricky. If I get just one win... Oh, for sure.
Spread damage, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Okay,
I gotta take a mulligan. You're gonna see my secret card that I tacked in here.
Let's have a look then. Ah, someone's nicked an idea from the previous video that he forgot to record, by the way, folks.
Yes, so if you want to see the first match, you can always go to Joe's channel.
Yeah, his advanced age caught up with him, is all I'll say.
Exactly. You know, once you hit 30, it's over.
Well, that's what they always say. My sister would agree. Obviously, you are going first, so no Badoo for you at the very least.
Nope.
And a pass. Okay. There's another Gligar. I can safely bench a Stunfisk, that's fine. So I'll Ultra Ball these two away. Grab myself a Binnacle. Do I want to pop this? Sure. And then we'll Lily.
Gligar's a nice little tech you got there.
Yeah, unfortunately, I just whiffed on my attacker there, but it's not a big deal. What I can do, though, is this. I should have put down the stadium, but it's fine. It's not a big deal. If you come up with Badoo, I'll deal with it later. And Secret Box, because Grimmsnarl always has it.
Actually, no. I'm going to take this, that. Actually, I should take this. And what's the other?
The item lock is going to be a big problem here. That means you have Lily in hand. That's what that's screaming to me. You have Lily in that hand. And it looks like I'm correct. And yep, there it is. There's the Grimmsnarl as well. Punk up. Thin out a bunch of energy. And it's going to be a Lily in his hand. Mark my words. Okay. And yep, told you.
Indeed it is.
I know what Grimmsnarl decks are like. They always seem to have it.
Okay, what do I want to do here with this? I think I'm just going to do that.
I mean, there's a very, very small world where I actually take out your Grimmsnarl this turn, but it's a very, very small world. I would need a lot of pieces. And even then, with my board set up right now, I don't think I can do it. Well, that's one piece of the puzzle, because you've just put damage counters on it.
I don't like the way that sounds.
Well, because Flopping Trap requires it to have damage counters on it, and you've just done that for me, but it's fine. Right. So, do I want to commit this now? So, first of all, I'm going to Adrenabrine off the active. This may sound strange, but don't worry about it, because I want that free prize card.
As you should.
Okay. I'll then bump your Stadium. Max Spelt the active. Ultra Ball these two. Grab Barbarical. And I just need a Fighting Energy to do some decent damage here. That's it. Perfect. So, how much damage am I doing? 80. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we'll just hit for 80 and lock you from retreating. I'm fine with that.
Fair enough.
Because obviously you hit your 180, assuming no damage mods or anything like that. Which then, I can then Adrenaline 30 back. Although you do have a monkey, which knowing my luck, you're going to have a Dark Energy.
Surprisingly, I don't.
That's very good for me then, because that would have been a knockout on my Stunfisk. A boss? You're going for the monkey. Okay.
I am indeed.
I'm actually fine with that, because now I have the knockout on your Grimmsnarl.
Unfortunately, that's what I was looking for.
Well, I don't have it yet, because I do need another energy. That's not an energy, so hold on. 110, 140. I can't get there. That really sucks. What I can do, though, is I can go for a different approach. I can grab the Gliscor. Actually, no, I can't, because I already have a tool on this active. Oh, no. So I'm doing 80, 110, 140. I think it's 250. I mean, I can evolve this Protect from Grimmsnarl. I can then Stone Arms to the Stunfisk.
He's got plays, he's got plays.
No, I really don't, because this hand is dead.
He's got something.
I'm just going to lock you. I can't do anything here. I was not prepared for a Grimmsnarl at all. It's not really like a pairing you expect, but still. I mean, at least I can claim moral victory, because I've only seen it as a, I've only seen it as, just a pain on the bench. You've not actually used it, so I'm claiming moral victory. I'm sure your viewers will agree. In the comments of Rare's video, do you think I claim moral victory because I've actually used the cards?
Hey, he's on the field. He just has to get accelerated.
He'll
get there.
You're taking up mini attacker, so if I don't get anything, you just win. So I'm claiming moral high ground anyway. And with double Frostlass in play, I'm already on a ticking time bomb as it is. What does the top deck bring me? Absolutely nothing.
Ooh.
So that is a concede.
Right.
That's a complete sweep by a Grimmsnarl deck, but, well, it happens. I wasn't expecting Grimmsnarl, I must admit. It's not what I really thought you'd go with, to be brutally honest, but I mean, even outside of that, I don't think I'd beat you anyway with Stunfisk, so yeah, I wasn't really confident with the card, and, the build that I went with was very focused on, Retreat Lock, but obviously Grimmsnarl's just so aggro that, I can't really account for that. So, we're going to go to the deck list, and we'll see you shortly. So here's my list for Stunfisk EX, and if the deck name up at the top doesn't tell you what to think about this card's awful. The idea of this deck was I was going to try and use a Retreat Lock sort of approach, but the problem is against something like Grimmsnarl, you can't really afford to do that because, well, Stunfisk only has 210 HP, and, well, as per the attack requirement, as we already know, it requires damage counters on it. And, well, if a Grimmsnarl even sets up 30 damage, that's already an issue because Grimmsnarl does 180 damage. So, yeah, this card's never going to beat a Grimmsnarl deck, but, well, that's just how it is, unfortunately. Like I said, I leaned into like a retreat lock sort of approach. So I played Gliscor as my backup attacker. I didn't get to use it, sadly. Um, Obviously with the damage mods being the 4-power pro, the maximum belt, the black belt's training. The idea was that Gliscor was going to soften up any Yveltal that comes into the active spot, because obviously with the resistance, it would then trap said Yveltal into the active spot, and then I can come in with a Stunfisk and deal with it. But as we saw with the games, I never got the chance, because, well, for a start, 1, Grimmsnarl's an aggro deck, and, well, 2, this card's just too slow and takes too much energy to get going. Obviously, to try and help get this card going, I played a 2/2 line of the Barbarical. This just made sense, because obviously we're playing a decent number of fighting energy. I was going to go with a Sorot Lunatone engine instead, but again, that would take a lot more space in the deck list, because I'd have to play, 5 gongs, that sort of thing, and it just felt like too much of a hassle. So I stuck with a quad Pokepad and quad Ultra Ball as my search. Then, of course, we had 2 monkeys and a Meowth, which I never bothered mentioning Meowth, because, well, I was facing Grimmsnarl essentially, so Meowth is a 2-prize liability in that situation. Obviously, for supporters, I've got a decent number. We've got to have Lilies, we've got to have Petrol to search out the maximum belt, and obviously my other damage mods. Crispin to try and help out with, getting energy into play outside of the Barbaricals, and obviously getting Dark Energy onto Monkey, which was very important. But other than that, really, this is just what I really came up with, and even though it did work, it's just a shame that the card's so bad. There's a reason why this card's on this wheel. It sucks, and you should never play this card. So, Rare, what did you think to this list, even though you demolished me in both games?
I think the deck list is really good. Because you had a tech for the Yveltal who did resist the fighting, like if you didn't have to do that, you could have definitely gotten rid of something like the Black Belt's training in, more preparation for like Lunatone and Draw Engine support. Not sure how I felt about the Monkey. I mean, I understood why it was there, but again, that could be space that you could use for the Solrock and Lunatone. But that's just my initial thoughts.
The reason for the Monkey is obviously because we're playing Risky Ruins as our stadium anyway. That's an extra 20 damage, which means I don't have to pop 2 Power Pros to knock out as potential Yveltal. Because obviously, you're essentially 240. Flopping Trap would be doing the 200, minus 30 is 170. So I would need to pop 2 Power Pros, and you would need to have damage on you already. Monkey would help with that, so that's one less, damage mod that I would need. That was the thought process for that. But obviously, as we saw, the deck did function relatively okay, but, against an aggro deck, this deck just falls apart, which I kind of expected, but still, quite unfortunate, but I'll take the L, at least one of us recorded in the previous match, and, well, I used the card so I can claim moral victory.
Oh boy.
Your comment section is going to be like, you literally just played Grimmsnarl. You didn't even attack with the Yveltal. I guarantee it, your comment section is going to be like that.
I know, I'm already waiting for them because they're a bunch of
no hard feelings. No hard feelings is all I'll say. If anything, it's quite funny. So I will definitely join in with the ribbing is all I'll say. But yeah, if you are going to play a Stunfisk deck, there is probably a better approach, and that would probably be play it with like Center Scourge or something. Obviously, I didn't because, that would mean I'm putting my board down to dangerously low levels, which the Yveltal can take advantage of. But then that means you can play you can play the Center Scorch, which counters out the Stunfisk grass weakness. So that's something to consider. Other than that, really, there's not really much to say. This card is awful and should never be played. But still, if it wasn't for the fact that Yveltal is weak to lightning, I would have played the Lightning Stunfisk and made it so that I don't need damage mods to take you out. But sadly, as per the rules, I'm not allowed to. Anywho, we're going to go to Rez deck list, and hopefully the comment section of his video will be him getting roasted, because I'm really looking forward to that, believe it or not. I'll see you in a moment.
This was the thought process behind my deck, which was, how do I get this stupid thing accelerated in energy? And I said, well, we could do Grimmsnarl, who has the Punk Up ability, which would allow me to energize a bench Grimmsnarl while the active deals some damage and get some damage on the board, because it does do 30 to the bench, which Yveltal does want for its Soul Destroyer, which is what I was mainly focusing on. But of course, you also have 210 HP, so I could have went Dark Strike. So I was gonna originally do End Plan. I figured, oh, Yveltal will come in the end game and make a big surprise. So Grimmsnarl comes in, softens up the board, um, and then Yveltal just comes in and just soul destroys everybody. Of course, we have Frostlasses because why would you not play Frostlass? But then I also teched in this Yveltal with the Corrosive Wind attack, which puts 2 damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon. I wasn't sure if you were going to go the Soul Rock Lunatone route or what your goal was, but I knew that you were going to be playing some kind of abilities. So Frostlass and Yveltal were another great way to get damage counters in play. But because PTCGL just has favored RNG, it kept giving me the Grimmsnarls in my opening hand, so I didn't really get a chance to use the Yveltal Frostlass combination. But it's a pretty standard Grimmsnarl deck. I just tacked in 2 copies of Yveltal EX, who would have came in the late game with the help of End's Plan, or what I could have also done was just manually attach to him, but I felt it was just easier to just punk up and then do my thing with the End's Plan. So that was my thought process behind it.
I can definitely see the vision, like, obviously, Grimmsnarl, I have seen a build similar to what you've got here, obviously without the Corrosive Winds, Yveltal. It's ironic that you're playing 6 Yveltals and you didn't even attack with any of them, so your comment section is going to have a field day, is all I'm saying. But, like I say, I wasn't prepared for a Grimmsnarl, because, I wanted to be like a retreat lock, sort of like, set up your attackers to obviously be knocked out by the Stunfisk, which would have been pretty nice. Obviously, as per the rules, I couldn't play the Electric Stunfisk, which would have been very useful with dealing with Grimmsnarl, because for those that don't know what the Electric Stunfisk did, it does 30 damage, traps your opponent's active Pokemon, and then your opponent's active Pokemon takes another 100 damage. So what that would mean is, with the 30 damage from the Stunfisk, assuming you do not Monkey Heal, you would then be taking 300 damage from a Stunfisk EX with no damage mods because of the attack. But obviously, as per the rules, I can't do that because, well, that would be against the rules because of lightning weakness, as Rare is showing on his screen there. But yeah, all I'll say is, I'm taking the moral victory at the end of the day, but I'm sure your comment section can agree or disagree with that. But like I say, because you played Grimmsnarl, you always had an answer, which is just how Grimmsnarl is at the minute. Every time I face Grimmsnarl, it's like they always have a boss, they always have a Candy, they always have a Grimmsnarl, they always have a Monkey, they always have a Badoo. That and
it's funny because I even knocked down the amount of Grimmsnarls in the deck. The original deck was playing 4 copies of Grimmsnarl. I knocked it down to 2 and 3 copies of Impidimp, and I attacked in the Yveltals, and it still was giving me all the Grimmsnarls I wanted in the world.
Yeah, that's what happens when you play a deck like Grimmsnarl. You just always have it.
Yeah.
But like I say, no hard feelings, because obviously we did record another one, which obviously will be after this one. It's just a shame the games were so short because my deck was not built to be aggro. It was just not. But we can always do this again.
First video.
I did
the second video, which means now we have to do a tiebreaker video at some point.
I'm down for that, and hopefully you won't use Grimmsnarl.
I will not, as long as I don't get another dark Pokemon that just does not accelerate to itself and has a very weird attack called Soul Destroyer that requires damage counters on the board.
Well, if your comment section and my comment section want it, we can most definitely do that, and hopefully we can stop you from playing Grimmsnarl and having everything, because, well, like I said, you never attacked with the Yveltals, so that's why I'm claiming moral victory. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing your comment section, because I'm going to have a laugh at that, and I'm sure you are as well. But that's it for today. Obviously, we are going to potentially do this again in future. Obviously, we did already do one video, but obviously Rare forgot to record on his end, because he's getting old.
Right, so if you want to see the first matchup, go to Joe's channel.
If you want to see that first matchup, like he's just said, it's Walking Wake versus... Well, it will be Walking Wake versus Veluza. Yeah, that's all I really have to say in that regard. If you do want us to do a tiebreaker, more than happy to. Like I say, just leave it in the comments, and we will do so if you all want to see that. But anyway, I will leave it to it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this matchup, even if it was just a slaughter for me. And we'll see you next time.